Hi, I'm Margaret Borden. Many of you who know me probably know me as Margaret Leek. I got married earlier this year. I was planning on being there for the panel, but then realized that my spring break coincided with this experience, and I had already booked a ticket to Colorado. So I'm out in Colorado as you speak, but I wanted to share a little bit about my experiences and my story to just add to the conversation today. Um, to answer the brief questions that you guys will be answering, my educational experience was amazing, as I'm sure many of yours were. I went through a K-12 experience with no real bumps. I actually didn't even have any bad teachers. I got lucky. I had all of the best teachers in the schools and really felt supported and loved and challenged by every teacher that I encountered. That led me into getting the Park Scholarship and having an incredible college experience. And so I'm finding now that I'm in the teacher side of it, because I'm a high school math teacher at Knightdale High School of Collaborative Design here in Raleigh. My students are not necessarily getting the same type of experience that I had from what they're saying. My biggest inhibitor to my educational experience was I have very strong emotional responses to just about everything. So I'm what they classify as a crier, and whenever I get frustrated, upset, angry, any emotion that is not happy or excited or enthusiastic on the positive end, I'm going to cry. And growing up, I was always told, stop crying, stop crying, stop crying. You got to learn how to hold it in, blah, blah, blah. And that would just cause days of crying instead of just a short little get it out experience and then move on. It wasn't until I got to college and started talking to my mentor, Dr. Allison McCulloch, which she's very involved in the park program as well. So many of you may know her, was when I learned that I can use crying to let my emotion out, and then after that I need to make a plan for how I'm going to overcome whatever it is that put me in tears at that time. And so learning how to manage my tears and manage my emotions and manage my frustration through that outlet allowed me to get to a point where now I have a very healthy response to my emotional experiences. So that was the only thing that in K-12 I feel like I did not really learn, and it took me till college, and that was my biggest struggle in K-12, which I'm very fortunate to have. Otherwise, my teachers were phenomenal. Like I said, they always went above and beyond to help me understand and to challenge me in my learning. When I was bored, I was always advised to be part of those huge advanced programs. So, the AIG programs, the HAG programs, the readers programs, the accelerated reader program, the math stars program, whatever it was that was available, we were doing. In addition to that, my parents were amazing. They were always pushing me to do my work. They were always helping me understand my work. They never let me turn in a paper without editing it, and oftentimes my mom just circled things and said work on, and so I had to figure out what exactly I needed to do to edit and have those conversations. We kept math and grammar books on hand in case there was anything that we didn't understand, because back when I was growing up, Google was not at our fingertips. And they turned even our vacations, our spring breaks, into educational experiences where we would go to museums, we would go to big caves, we would go on walking tours, and my mom always had a tour book that she was explaining what we were seeing to ourselves. So my education was, fully well-rounded growing up. So now as a math teacher in a very low-income school, we have 80% free and reduced lunch. I am experiencing the flip side. I'm seeing my students not getting to go on these educational experiences, not being well-rounded. My average class sizes are huge. They're 35 to 40 people in each class, and my students are people who really need that one-on-one mentorship and attention. They're not strong self-managers, and their parents are working their tails off to just put food on the table and a roof over their head. And so they're not sitting down with their students to really work through math problems together or work on papers together, just teach them how to be successful in education. And so I found that when I'm most effective is during one-on-one conversations or two-on-one conversations before school, during lunch, and after school. But during the classroom experience, they're really not getting the full benefit of having a teacher guiding them through the learning experience. We have to put through a lot of collaboration activities where they're learning from each other and do a lot of peer-to-peer learning because there's just so many of them and there's so much curriculum to get through in such a small amount of time. So much of my work leads toward conversations with students about how they can be more effective and productive citizens in today's world, things that they are doing that just don't fall into societal norms or get them to the next place that they want to go. For instance, picking up their trash after using it, or helping out a friend when they need some help, or volunteering to speak up in class, all these different things that are expected of us as adults and as citizens in society that my students are not learning unless I have that conversation with them or someone else in the school has that conversation with them. And at the end of the day, a lot of those conversations tend to be more impactful when they write letters at the end of my class telling the next group of students how they experienced my class and what they learned from my class. I'm always seeing things like, don't come up with excuses because she always has a reason to get you to that next piece. So you're never going to get away with not doing what you want to not do. Or make sure that you stay focused because she's going to be working her tail off to help you stay focused by taking away your phone or by making you pick up your trash or whatever it is that I'm trying to teach them to do. And so all these things are ingrained in them, whereas the mathematics that I'm trying to teach them doesn't show up at all in the end. So I think that this conversation that we're having today is to say that as a math teacher, I would love to have more community members working with our students on one-on-one mentorship experiences. If you're going to advocate for our school systems, advocate for those smaller class sizes, for more time to do mentorship or more programs, after school programs or weekend programs even for mentorship. One-on-one or just small group experiences for our kids just amazingly affect their lives in a positive way. Whereas these huge class sizes where they're just expected to learn in fire hose style, like let me throw as much as I can at you, is really not benefiting them. It's making it worse for a lot of our students who are trying to climb out of that poverty cycle. I think our students would benefit from regularly talking to someone instead of just those one-on-one, like quick experiences, actually having regular conversations with someone who cares and is invested in their lives. I know that I have benefited from that through Park Scholarships, our professor mentors, and I now have 4 or 5 professor mentors that I can call up any day, and I think that my students would just greatly benefit from that experience, and I think our teachers would benefit from those experiences, talking with people out in the community and businesses of what is expected from the students that they are preparing so that they can help guide their students to be more productive and come out the people that their future employers would like them to be. So I hope that this helps with the conversation. I hate that I can't be there today, but I appreciate you all coming and listening to what I have to say, and have fun, and I will see you later. Bye.